Today on the Morning Edition, 2 people dead after a helicopter crash on Alaska's North Slope. Why investigators say the next few hours are critical to the case.
Throw in a buck.
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe in it.
From your coffee run to a grocery trip, new data shows Americans are fed up with tip screens and surcharges. Why more consumers are tipping less and how the debate could land in Washington.
It hasn't changed much. We're a regulars bar, people drink.
And they have for well over a century. We are road tripping to Juneau today to step inside one of Alaska's oldest bars where the drinks and the legends never go out of style. As the Morning Edition starts now. Good Friday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. It's good to be back, and it looks like I missed some rainy weather.
Yeah, it looks like you finally brought some sunshine with you from that vacation
Maybe I did.
as well.
I packed it with me.
Yeah, we are going to see a nice day across South Central today. We're waking up. We've got some clear skies in the forecast. We're still holding on to at least some spotty showers through parts of the valley this morning, as well as out towards parts of Prince William Sound, but largely expecting today to be a very nice day and ample opportunities to get outdoor and soak up some of that sunshine. We're waking up this morning to those temperatures sitting at 46 degrees. Now, while we largely will stay on the quiet side today, we will be watching areas of South Central seeing some winds increasing later this afternoon into the evening. Be prepared for the possibility that we could see some winds gusting anywhere from about 20 to 40 miles per hour. But you can see as far as those temperatures and those cloud coverage, we are sitting on the pleasant side this morning. Many areas from the Kenai through the valley as well as out towards the Copper River Basin sitting up under mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. But you can see some of that light rain showers continue as you head through parts of the Susitna Valley out towards Talkeetna, and of course those cloudy conditions still with us for parts of Prince William Sound. But the overall trend is favoring today. It's going to be the nicest day that we've seen this week. You certainly want to take advantage of that as rain does build back in this weekend, and we're talking about cooler conditions both Saturday and Sunday. Beyond Sunday, we are watching signs of warmer weather heading our way. So give it some time, but we are going to be talking about those temperatures easily warming into the 60s. There's those showers that we're seeing this morning through parts of the valley. Notice how they're quickly falling apart through the past several hours. That will be the general trend through the remainder of the day. But like we generally see during this time of year, we could see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms firing, particularly out towards the Susitna Valley. So we'll be watching for that. Cloud coverage does increase from Saturday on into Monday, but then more sunshine expected beyond Monday of next week. You can see temperatures today, 51 in McGrath, 30 in Utqiagvik, 55 degrees in Fairbanks. More rain expected for Southeast. I'll have all those details for you in that 7-day coming up.
So it is a bit of a race against time here right now.
The NTSB says their work on the North Slope is moving fast as investigators try to gather evidence from this week's deadly helicopter crash before conditions deteriorate. Investigators are battling time and weather to find out what caused this deadly crash. We do want to make a correction from yesterday. The chopper that went down was not part of a search and rescue effort for a missing aircraft. But the NTSB and Pollux Aviation are working together on the North Slope as the victims' families wait for answers. Here's Joe Allgood with what we know so far in this morning's top story.
Wasilla-based Pollux Aviation. Behind me was the operator of the helicopter that crashed on the North Slope on Wednesday. They have confirmed, and the NTSB has as well, that they're both working together to investigate the crash that killed 2 people. The helicopter crashed sometime before 11 in the morning, shortly after taking off around 10:40, according to NTSB officials. At such an early stage in the investigation, officials are not able to identify a cause or rule anything out. However, they did say the helicopter had special VFR clearance, meaning that weather conditions might have been less than optimal. The helicopter shown flying here in Wasilla is similar, but not the one that was involved in the crash. After the helicopter cleared the takeoff airspace, it was not heard from again, but search and rescue were able to find the wreckage quickly, due in part to a transmitter on the aircraft. The pilot and the passenger were pronounced dead on the scene. Their bodies were recovered, but their names have not been released, and investigators on the ground are awaiting a break in the weather to retrieve the wreckage.
The area where the helicopter crashed there is still snow, so it's snow-covered tundra, featureless snow-covered terrain for the most part, very flat on the North Slope. Very remote, though. There's no roads, so the only way to get there is by helicopter. To complicate matters, we do have a pretty good-sized weather system that's coming in.
are helping the NTSB in every way possible to sort out what could have possibly happened. And our hearts and prayers go to the families.
Once weather on the North Slope clears up, the NTSB is going to go and retrieve the helicopter, bring it back to Dead Horse, and look at the wreckage to investigate further. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
A high-profile voter fraud case out of Whittier is facing new delays this morning. 10 members of an American Samoan family who are U.S. nationals are accused of illegally casting ballots in Alaska elections.
State of Alaska versus Michael Pesse.
Our investigating team has been tracking this case since last year. Michael Pesse and 9 family members face felony charges, including voter misconduct and perjury, because U.S. nationals from American Samoa cannot legally vote in state or federal elections. The family was not in court Thursday. Their attorney successfully requested another delay, saying several more may follow as the case moves toward either a dismissal or a trial. The state has not said what its next steps will be. The next hearing is now scheduled for July 10th. Juneau is taking big steps this summer to protect homes and neighborhoods from flooding. City leaders are spending nearly $8 million to build temporary barriers along the Mendenhall River. The work comes after last year's record flooding, which devastated parts of the community. City officials say this temporary fix will help, but a long-term solution is still needed. Juneau's deputy city manager says public feedback helped drive the decision to move quickly this year, especially from families hit hard in 2024. City and borough leaders say they are also working with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers on a permanent flood protection plan. And in the interior, check your flood zone. The North Star Borough is rolling out a new flood risk map, one that could save millions in insurance costs. After a decade of study, the borough has removed 2,800 structures from its list of flood risk properties, while adding about 500 new ones. The changes could mean some homeowners will no longer be required to carry flood insurance. Nearly 20,000 structures still remain at moderate to high risk, including those near the Tanana, Chena, and Salcher rivers. The new map replaces one proposed by FEMA and uses high-tech LiDAR imaging to better pinpoint flood zones.
Now with the LiDAR information, we have elevation accurate within 10 centimeters. So rather than just kind of painting a whole area as a flood zone, you can actually see the individual channels and old abandoned sloughs that the floodwaters would go to, and not just the whole area.
The updated map will remain in place for the next 10 years. Anyone who thinks their property may be impacted is urged to contact the borough for more information. This morning, a bright sign that summer is blooming in downtown Anchorage. City crews are working to fill Town Square Park with thousands of flowers, adding a welcome splash of color that both locals and visitors are enjoying. Lauren Maxwell shows us how this seasonal tradition is taking shape.
City crews are adding a big splash of color to downtown that is much admired on an otherwise gray day.
Well, we think they're going to be amazing. The ones that are in already looking fantastic.
8,000 flowers started from seed in the municipal greenhouse are being planted in Town Square.
We have, well, I think 12, 13 beds that we do here, and they're all really big beds, as you can see.
It's a sign that summer is on its way. One of the neat things about these gardens is it's just instant beauty. When the plants go in, they're already tall and in bloom. One person who's particularly excited.
We anxiously await the arrival of the flowers in Town Square Park. It makes a stunning difference.
Is Nina Bonita Romine. She co-owns the Kobuk next door. Bonita Romine isn't always happy about activity in the park, but says the flowers bring a positive energy that everyone can feel.
And we get a lot more visitors walking through the park because it's inviting and they want to see the different style of flowers and the different color schemes. Yeah, it's really lovely.
That's good news for hardworking gardeners who appreciate the positive feedback.
It makes me feel great that we are doing a good job.
They hope to wrap it up by Friday afternoon. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
Anchorage police have a warning this morning. Watch your text messages. There's a scam going around where fraudsters claim to be from the DMV. Scammers are sending out texts asking people to pay fines and click on a fake link. They claim your vehicle registration or driving privileges will be suspended if you do not respond. APD reminds everyone government agencies will not contact you through text. And if you get a message like this, double check through CourtView or call the agency directly.
This is really the safest and most reliable method for verifying citation status. And the same goes for if people believe they missed a court date. Scam callers will often say, you missed a court date, we have a warrant for your arrest. We're never going to call you and say that you have a warrant for your arrest. That's not, for missing court. That's not something APD does, or text you about it.
If you'd like to report these types of text messages to APD, or if you've been a victim of fraud, you can call 907-786-8801. If you feel like you're constantly receiving scam calls, texts, or emails, you're not alone. According to a new survey, an overwhelming majority are targeted by scammers every week. Ivan Rodriguez details the common tactics tricksters use and how you can protect yourself.
If you're checking your email every day, chances are you'll see a subject line that might make you raise a brow.
Right away, I'm thinking to myself, is this something that I've been expecting?
According to a CNET survey, 96% of U.S. adults receive at least one scam email, text, or phone call each week. 90% say they get scam emails on a weekly basis. CNET Stacia Milden says the scam calls and texts are surging too.
My phone rings constantly, and that's at 83%, still very high, followed by text messages, of course, at 82%.
In 2024 alone, U.S. adults reported losing a collective whopping $470 million in those sneaky text scams, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Milden says fraudsters have gotten so good at crafting their messages and creating a sense of urgency that people need to stay vigilant, especially on phone calls.
If you don't know who that person is after you have said hello, don't say anything further, hang up. And the reason why I say that is so important is because artificial intelligence has evolved to where scammers are actually able to clone your voice and your responses to unfortunately use those for scams later.
Aside from following basic internet safety guidelines, such as not clicking unknown links and not answering unknown calls, Milden says there are other ways to keep criminals from impacting your finances.
Right now is a really good time to freeze your credit. So that way, if they happen to get access to your information, hey, your credit's already frozen.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Milden also suggests identity protection. Now, it won't keep you from falling for a scam, but at least you'll be alerted if you do. More news ahead after the break. In this morning's Health Watch, a Fairbanks family facing the unthinkable. Their young daughter diagnosed with one of the rarest brain tumors in the world. Hear Michaela's story and the fight she and her family are facing.
A nice day on tap across South Central today as we've got plenty of sunshine, but we will see some gusty conditions later today with rain into the weekend. I'll have more on that, but first at sunrise, 428 in Anchorage, 356 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
If you're a Beach Boys fan, the rides won't be the only thing making you scream at the Alaska State Fair this summer. Wouldn't it be nice to see the legendary band live? Well, today's the day. Tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. The Good Vibrations hit makers will bring their fun to the ConocoPhillips concert series on Monday, August 25th, with dozens of chart toppers and a spot in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This show is all summer long level iconic, so don't surf away from your chance to catch a piece of music history. Head to alaskastatefair.org to get your tickets before they're gone. Aaron, the Alaska State Fair concert series really stacking up this year.
Yeah, it looks like there's something for everyone, from country to Christian rock and, of course, the Beach Boys. So certainly looking for that later this summer. Of course, we're still chasing some of that warmth. Over the last week and a half here in Anchorage, we've only managed to warm into the 60s once. And you notice Wednesday, we managed to top out at 48 degrees, which was the third coldest June high on record. The coldest June high on record is 47 degrees, and that was set back in the early 70s. And thankfully, we are going to see some warmer conditions today. While we are going to see some cooler weather Saturday and Sunday, we will begin to see that warming trend taking hold next week. We're also going to see that potential for highs to climb into the upper 60s for Fairbanks later next week. So we've got to get through this week and this weekend before that warmer weather makes an arrival. 26 currently in Utqiagvik, 30 in Nome. We do have some light rain showers that's occurring out towards St. Paul and parts of the central Aleutians, and then out towards southeast. While we are holding on to some spotty activity, that ridge of high pressure will largely lead to quieter weather today, but we're still going to see some cloudy conditions out towards southeast Alaska. Overall, fairly quiet across the state. There's that ridge of high pressure out towards the Aleutians. There's that persistent low that's been holding with us out towards the northwest Arctic Burrow for most of this week. That's been keeping that cloudy conditions with us, some isolated to scattered showers out towards western Alaska, as well as those breezy winds. And of course, to our south, we do have that ridge of high pressure that remains with us, and that's going to be the ridge that's going to bring that nice weather that we're going to see today across south central. But notice to the west, we've got another trough that's going to sweep right through south central into the weekend. This is going to drive in more rain as well as some windy conditions. We're going to begin to see those winds increasing later today into the evening hours. So get outdoors today. It's going to be a nice stretch of weather. We'll really see today shaping up to be as nice as what we did see for Memorial Day weekend. You can see those temperatures warming into the mid to upper 50s. We may top out near 60 degrees through parts of the Mat-Su Valley later today. Should that occur, we could see some spotty to isolated thunderstorms develop later this afternoon. But notice that ridging stays with us for today and then quickly shifts off to the east as that area of low pressure begins to build in across south central. This will keep a large portion of the state on the cooler side as that trough remains with us. So be prepared for winds and rain into the weekend. Very short-lived weather pattern, though, because as we welcome in next week, notice out west, we've got another ridge. We'll begin to see this trough kind of shift back off to the north, and we'll see a lot more seasonal weather beginning to build back in across the state. So for today, plenty of sunshine in the forecast. Again, we could see some spotty to isolated thunderstorms develop later this afternoon. There's that rain building in through the weekend. You can see becoming widespread. We will see some dry time for inland areas, but be prepared for Saturday and Sunday to be wet, cool, and breezy across south central. We'll also see the return to some rain out towards the Panhandle, and this chance for some rain stays with us through at least Monday. Will be on the drier side. So that is some good news for us. Mid to upper 50s today across southeast with some spotty to isolated showers. We could see some breezy conditions. And then across south central, those winds will steadily increase throughout the day. But we're holding on to some of that sunshine across the region. We'll see those temperatures again warming into the 40s and the 50s through Prince William Sound, 51 degrees in Golconda, breaking near the mid to upper 50s as you head into the valley later this afternoon. And of course, that 7-day forecast, that cooler weather this weekend. But check out next week, 62 Wednesday. Talk about Thursday, a high of 66 looks likely.
Wow, looking nice. Thanks, Aaron. This morning, a Delta Junction family is facing a fight they never saw coming. When little Michaela began losing her balance, her parents feared an ear infection. Instead, they learned their daughter has a rare and aggressive brain tumor. Now they're sharing their story, hoping to spread awareness and find hope. Here's Adrian Peterson with this morning's Health Watch.
Vanessa Perrott describes her daughter Michaela as her wild child, having no fear and being physically strong since before her first birthday. But she noticed something was wrong when Michaela began struggling to walk earlier this year.
She's not walking right. She's bumping into things. She's just off balance. I looked it up on Google and it said, oh, what if they have water in the ear or some sort of earache, it can throw them off balance and they walk, wobbly. So
it wasn't an ear infection, water, or an injury either, though. After visiting doctors in Fairbanks, symptoms worsened and the family made a visit to the emergency room.
That's when the ER doctor rushed in and was like, she has a aggressive growing tumor. She needs to get, out of here and go to Seattle Children's.
Further testing in Seattle revealed she had a rare brain tumor called an embryonal tumor with multi-layered rosettes, or EMTR.
Doing research and looking it up, there's only a handful of ETMR cases, around the world yearly. Just about 5. we're still in disbelief.
According to the National Institutes of Health, the tumor has a 5-year survival rate under 30%.
We're trying to stay very positive and optimistic about everything. We're praying for a miracle. Just spending as much time as we can with her.
Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.